Living a cheap lifestyle today allows you to live comfortably and even a bit luxurious in your future, bro. The golden financial rules I follow to keep myself completely debt-free in my 20s and leading into my 30s is to never take a loan out on something unless I can put down a minimum of 33%. I pay more attention to interest rates rather than the actual price of the object, always live below my means, fill out every scholarship possible, and invest more money into learning new skills rather than buying the materialistic things. By living this way, I was able to go to college with $487 in my bank account and graduate with $10,000 debt-free, and from there continuously double, triple, and quadrupling my bank account year after year. The art of saving money and becoming debt-free is not hard. It really comes down to setting yourself up with systems and being disciplined enough to follow through. When it comes to being disciplined with money, I often hear from others that they are scared to lose their money, or that they want to save it in order to not lose it, or to buy something big down the line. I have never had a fear of money, and that is an important view to have and grasp onto so that you can confidently move, make, and spend money the way you want to and should. You should invest in yourself, in your business, in your stock portfolio, and I'll explain how here in a little bit. Tip number one are the golden nuggets for financial discipline. You want to allocate 33% of your net pay into investments every paycheck. You can do this by creating habits in manually transferring funds into investment accounts. And like I said before, don't be scared of losing this money. And tip number two, save to invest, not to save. Avoid letting money sit idle in a normal bank account. Invest that money to outpace inflation. Money sitting in the bank is accruing at 0.2%. If you want it in the bank long term, then you need to prioritize getting it into a high yield savings account or investments like index funds. But these on average are only like 4% gains. My personal favorite investment is putting money into a Roth IRA. Now let's talk about some of the fun stuff here, which is making a shit ton of money passively, aka you set it and forget it, and it prints you money in the future tax-free. This money is not money from YouTube or any like online businesses. This is for your retirement strictly, and this is the simplest, easiest, and largest return on your investment once you turn 18. This money-making method is opening a Roth IRA account and contributing the max amount that you can into it, which at this point in time in 2025 is $7,000 a year. That's only $584 a month, $146 a week, or $21 a day. You can expect a return of 7 to 10%, but when you are younger and in your early 20s and your teens, if you can, your returns are very likely to be upwards of 20+%. The best Roth IRA year that I had was a 38% gain on my money that I had put in, and I didn't do anything but send it to my broker, have him plug it in where it needed to go, and let it accumulate. So the common question is, how do I start? My recommendation, and this is free and not a sponsor at all, this is my personal and professional experience and actions taken, is to call up your local Edward Jones if you're in the USA and ask to set up a meeting with their broker. And again, this is all free to do, a free meeting, and tell them that you would like to open a Roth IRA with them. Have this meeting, wire them $7,000, and let that accumulate into a few $1,000,000 that you can take out tax-free when you retire. Easy, boys. If you have any questions about this, feel free to ask me down in the comments. Now I want to share my college story about how I went in with a few $100s and left with just above $10,000 and no college tuition debt. When I went to college, I was scared to death when I started college. I was a C and a B student in high school, and then got my first tuition bill the first week of college and thought, oh my God, I am not going to be a brokey failure. I have to get this paid off and I cannot fail any classes. My first bill was about $8,000 and it was due in 13 days. In those 13 days, I was able to find and apply for so many scholarships that I ended up getting that balance down to zero in just those 13 days. I did this every single semester in order to graduate with no debt, as well as work a full-time job at Home Depot, and then I transitioned into a good healthcare job that I was recommended to by my teachers. And I was making about $19 an hour, and that was back in 2016 as a college student, so that was pretty good. This gave me freedom to save that money and put it into also paying off my college tuition, as well as allowing me to work on homework while I work. I think it's important while you are in college to look for and fill out every single scholarship you think you qualify for, even if you don't. I was filling out some scholarships that I had no business doing, but I ended up winning them because no one else was applying for them. And also looking for a job in college that allows you to work on homework while you work is going to help give you a lot of your time back. Another college tuition money saving tip is to take courses in the summer because they are cheaper than the fall and the spring courses. And this is also going to allow you to graduate earlier, therefore saving you a semester or two in the fall and spring semester. I was able to take 2 or 3 classes each summer and graduate a semester early. I got my bachelor's degree in 3.5 years instead of 4 and saved about $12,000 doing this. Another college tip is to go to community college to get your gen eds done, then go to university. The savings by doing this on average is going to be between, I'd say like $20,000 to $30,000 easily. Plus, gen eds at university suck. The professors are very hard and critical there, and community college gen ed courses are much, much easier. So my story thus far of getting out of college is that I landed a decent salary professional job right out of college. I stayed in it for 4 years and maxed out my skills in that profession. I lived at home with my parents and saved all that money. I started different side hustles for the cash, and then I used that cash to get mentors and keep building my skills to make more money down the road. And the biggest financial lessons that I learned was without disciplined saving, the opportunities wouldn't have existed for my future. Now let's talk about dealing with expenses and cash with business income. I maintained personal expenses at about $700 a month for years. Even when I moved out of my parents' place, my expenses were still calculated and watched very closely, even after making a very good amount of money each month and only having $1,500 to $1,700 in expenses. The next money saving method that made me wealthy in my 20s is investing your money into yourself to learn new skills that will allow you to make more money down the road. For me, that was learning everything I could about car detailing on YouTube for free and then purchasing a faceless YouTube automation mentor so that I could learn about YouTube and make money from both of these business models. I've made some great cash and income from both of these skills, and a golden nugget piece of my mindset that I used was when I was working on these businesses, I knew if I failed, I could always go back to my 9 to 5. You can always go back to working your 9 to 5, but you can't go back and try a business out when you had the opportunity. Now, some of you may be asking, how do you get startup money to put yourself in this position? I built a significant safety net through cash flow and controlled spending from my salary position that I was working 8 to 4:30. And you can do that now with your salary or hourly position 9 to 5 or whatever shifts you're working. Just put some money aside to invest it later into a mentor or business idea that you have. Since I had my 8 to 4:30 salary, I would then go to my Monday through Friday 5 to 9 side hustle for cash and worked weekends 8 in the morning till 6 o'clock at night cash on that side hustle as well. And I still do this. I then took that side hustle's cash and invested it into a mentor to learn a new skill and make more money now online. As that cash kept stacking up, I was also able to have more life spending money, and I was able to pay for my leg and my arm sleeve with that cash money. By having different income streams and saving, you're able to have and commit to a lifestyle balance where you can enjoy vacations, high quality meals, and occasional luxuries. Focus on meaningful spending without succumbing to flashy purchases. The end goal by the time I'm 40 is to be financially free, and that freedom is so important for your mindset. Choose the future freedom over materialistic possessions like Lambos and yachts. My futuristic possessions right now are a lake house and a BMW M2. True freedom to me is having no alarm clocks, flexible schedules, and financial independence. In the meantime, from that 40-year-old goal, here are some more tips. Live with your parents or roommates as long as possible. This is going to allow you to save thousands of dollars a year, and also you should use this time to create positive connections with your friends and family, if you can, so that you have the best quality of life. Avoid unnecessary spending on appearances or short-term satisfactions, and focus on long-term financial goals over immediate gratification. It's important to strive for financial independence. Freedom is the ultimate goal, not the flashy items. Financial discipline in your 20s leads to wealth and flexibility in your later years of your life. Compounding actions really do work too. Start small, let time and consistency amplify your investments, and enjoy the journey. Frugality doesn't mean deprivation. Focus spending on things that matter most. Start where you are and prioritize financial health. Begin investing even with the small amounts to secure your future. Hold a vision that you will achieve your financial freedom, man, and live life on your terms.
Enemy took Alpha. Enemy took Charlie. Time's almost up. Securing A.
Contact!